All right. Hitting that intro in 3, 2, 1. What is going on, one and all? Welcome to the First Round by podcast. I am Sauce, and I am accompanied today by my boy, Jose.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Not a Deflategate joke, but I'm a bit deflated. Why do you ask? Because we just recorded about a 25-minute episode, and our freaking thing just died like 5 minutes in. So now all the information, everything that we just spoke about, literally just out the window, and now we're here starting from scratch. We were rolling. We were talking good. We were talking some good stuff, in my opinion. But now back at zero.
It's like, where do we even start again?
Where do we start? Because I forgot what the heck we were just talking about. But man, we were rolling. But anyways, welcome back. This is episode 54, if I'm correct. We were freaking in hibernation for about 7 months. Our last episode was like last year in August, but we're back. Free agency has been a freaking whirlwind, and it hasn't been a full week since free agency has started. We got running backs on the move, quarterbacks on the move, receivers on the move, trades going on. We got a bunch. We got a little bit of everything. We got a little. We really do. Steven, where do you want to start? We want to start with running backs, quarterbacks.
Let's do. You know what? I'm going to learn from my past mistakes. This last time, the one that you guys will never get to see, we actually started off talking about the Titans. So let's actually start off with the running backs.
Hold on. Let's start here. Out of all the running backs that have moved, so we got Derrick Henry to the Ravens, Tony Pollard to the Titans, Austin Eckler to the Commanders, Saquon to the Eagles, and Antonio Gibson to the Pats. What else we got?
DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift to the Bears. And then we got Devin Singletary to the Giants, Joe Mixon to the Texans. Which running back do you think is going to have the most success year one in their new franchise?
Man, I don't know if I want to change my answer from the answer that we had last time.
Let's hear it.
I would say I'm going to stick with we talked about Mr. Saquon. I think Saquon, like even thinking about it again and everything, he's going to be behind probably the best line in football. He's going to have all these other weapons because I'm not sure if you remember, but over there in New York, how much talent did they have?
I think Saquon was literally like the only star they had on that entire freaking team.
Oh yeah. So since he was the only star that they had on the team,
everybody knew who was getting the damn ball.
Exactly.
They stacked the box up and yeah.
Because wait, don't discount Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, no. So because he was the only one, now he's going into a stacked offense that includes AJ Brown, Rip, what's his name? I always get his name wrong. Devontae Smith. I always want to call him Deontay Smith. Yep.
I saw like a meme the other day. It was like, how imagine, because I guess Jalen Hurts and both Saquon have like nasty like squatting records or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They can both squat a ton. They were saying, imagine the tush push next year because they got like incredible leg strength between the two.
Ain't gonna happen. Good old Jason Kelce. He's a Ripperooski.
Ripperooskis indeed.
Oh man. You know what? I'm going to miss him. And what's sad about it is I didn't even know about his existence until this last year.
Really?
Did not know.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I don't pay attention to linemen.
He's like one of the best freaking linemen in the entire NFL.
Everybody said that he was actually probably the best center of all time. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I knew that he played. I just didn't know what position. I didn't really care to look because I've never been a big Kelce fan.
I got you,
but he's great there, and the NFL is going to miss him and stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, I think Saquon's going to be going to probably the best situation possible and he's got to perform because did you see that nasty ass? There we go. Nasty ass contract that he got.
3 years, $33 million.
Yeah, he got paid. He's like one of the highest paid running backs now.
I think he will definitely flourish. It all really depends on his health. Obviously, I think every year since he's been in the league, he's had some health concerns. Granted, every year that he has been in the league, he's played obviously for the Giants.
100%.
And every single year, I feel like they're relying on him to do a lot, right? So I feel like with him going to the Eagles, it's going to open up more opportunity. It's not going to solely ride on Saquon. It's going to be on the running game, or not running game. Their passing attack and the running game. So it's going to be more opportunity to distribute the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be less pressure on Saquon.
Yep.
But to kind of lead on to the original question, I also feel like Derrick Henry is going to thrive in his new situation with that run first offense of the Ravens.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got Mark Andrews and
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers to catch passes from Mr. MVP two-time Lamar
Two-time.
Jackson. But Derrick Henry on the Ravens, man, I love it. It's nasty. I thought he was going to sign with the Cowboys. A lot of people thought he was going to sign with the Cowboys. But apparently the Cowboys never even contacted Mr. Derrick Henry for anything.
Which is weird.
Yeah, which is weird, right? Because I know he still has a lot of juice left.
He does.
And honestly, he's probably one of the greatest running backs to ever play.
Yeah, I actually saw a meme the other day. It was it was showing like some it was a meme about some little league, like this little kid was running, and it said behind the scenes footage of Deuce Vaughn as the
I saw that. I saw that.
I was like, oh my gosh, that poor dude, that poor Deuce. But what's nuts to me too is to sit here and think about it and realize that, I mean, there's a huge shift in the NFL, huge shift. And so part of the reason why is because the salary cap went up. So now a lot of teams are able to retain, but you're seeing a lot of just a lot of movement because people are chasing the bag. I mean, inflation.
Yeah, and not only that, but like not only just in the NFL, but like in all the sports, there's not a lot of like loyalty to teams anymore, which I'm not complaining about, right?
I am.
But I feel like back in the day, more people were like, I guess they were more willing to stay with the team that they were drafted by, or, you know, like Tom Brady was with the Patriots for 20 years and, you know, stuff like that. But now people are just chasing the bag, which I don't chase. I mean, I'm not hating. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, and I will say,
at what point
I respect it.
Is there loyalty between a team to the player?
Yeah.
As soon as you're not performing, you're out the door.
That's
right.
So
why should the players be loyal to the franchise, right?
Yeah. It also kind of depends because you've got all these different personalities, and that's one big thing that. So I was watching an interview with Mr. Calvin Ridley, who is now a Tennessee Titan. Yeah, I'm a Titans fan. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you knew, but yeah, all three of us, we were so stoked about it. We were stoked about that signing. But anyway, I was watching an interview that he had, and one of the things that he was talking to one of the Titans radio personalities about was the whole free agency process. And one of the things that he talked about too was the culture fit and stuff like that. So you got to think about what city are you going to? You got to think about who are your teammates. Are they going to be cancerous or are they going to be good? The head coach. Is it a well-established head coach? Is it a brand new head coach? Which one would be easier to play for and everything? But also one of the biggest things too is that some of these guys, especially these veterans and stuff, they, for one, they might not have another chance at one of these huge contracts, right? But also they have families and stuff that they gotta look at and everything. I actually feel kind of bad sometimes because obviously they're making that money and stuff. They're working hard for that money. But then just think about the kids sometimes, you know, like having to go from one school to another school and making new friends and stuff. It's going to be the same for a wide receiver, running back, anytime a big name goes somewhere, because you know that everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, did you see him just walk by? Did you see Saquon? That's Saquon. He's on our team now. He's helping us. So I just think that whenever I was watching it, I guess because I never think about that. I'm just a casual fan. We're both just casual fans that probably watch a little bit too much football. Probably not though. But yeah, so I love watching the interviews and stuff and being able to get those behind the scenes in-depth analysis and everything. But yeah, so I don't blame them, but at the same time, I'm a guy that likes to get football jerseys and not just the custom ones, you know? And so it makes it really hard. I was joking with you the other day about, I'm going to get a Will Levis jersey, but I got to wait till after this year because I got to see if he's going to stick, because you never quite know.
You got to see if he's worth a damn too.
Yeah.
I remember one of my buddies, he was really trying to convince me to get a Cam Newton jersey whenever he was there with the Pats, and I was like, well, because I'm a big jersey guy too, and I only get, you know, players that are you know, big contributors to the team. I got a Gronk jersey, I got an Edelman jersey, got a Brady jersey. But, you know, Cam, to your credit, I'm not going to get a jersey, you know, if you haven't put the work in for the team. I got to see something out of you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Granted, Cam Newton didn't have a terrible season, but it wasn't.
But it was only one season too.
It was only one season, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't gonna sit there and waste all that money on the damn
Yeah.
jersey.
Yeah. No, and that's one of the things that kind of kills me too, is because I'll sit there and I'll be like, man, do I really want to spend almost $100? Because
It's probably more than $100.
listen, it's over $100 if you get the adult sizes. If you get the kid sizes, which is what we should be doing, it's a lot cheaper.
Ripperooskies.
So yeah,
Back on topic, Mr. Sauce. Let's talk football here.
we are talking football.
We are, but half-assly.
Man, I'm still just it was a kick in the chest.
So what do you think about the Bears? So they have
The Bears.
They
I
have
like 'em.
a reestablished, not necessarily a reestablished. They have
They're
a
rebuilding.
rebuilt offense. They got Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
They got obviously DJ Moore, DeAndre
DeAndre
Swift.
Swift.
Pump the brakes. They don't know. People are saying they're gonna pick freaking Caleb Williams with the #1 overall draft pick. People are saying they're gonna trade Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their quarterback situation is a little rocky right now, but as it currently stands, with Justin Fields as quarterback, how do you feel about that Bears offense?
With Justin Fields as quarterback, don't trust it. Now, with Caleb Fields as quarterback, Caleb Fields. Wow. Yeah, that's where my mind's at. Caleb Williams. Still don't trust it. I don't like Caleb Williams. But with and that's a topic for another day. Justin Fields, man, I just don't trust him. He's very streaky. Like he'll play good in streaks.
I think he plays nervous. Like I feel like he's
Yeah.
really really scared as to what the media thinks and as to what they're
yeah.
gonna say. So he kind of like psychs himself out on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's still like early 20s, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little young, but I mean, obviously, if you're gonna be a freaking top tier quarterback, you can't let the media, you can't let social media, you can't let that really affect you negatively. You gotta
Tell that to
kinda
Caleb Williams.
use it as motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to your credit, I'm not a big fan of Justin Fields. A lot of people saying the Pats might trade for him, which hopefully they don't. But I don't know. If they draft a quarterback first round like Caleb Williams,
Caleb
Fields, I mean they might make some noise, but overall I don't really like their quarterback situation.
Yeah. No, and what's kind of crazy though is that like they're now with all the moves that they've already made, we haven't even hit the draft yet, but they look like they could potentially be a quarterback away from competing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you got Keenan Allen, which even though he has had injury problems in the past, he is still, I still see him as kind of like in that DeAndre Hopkins mold. Like he's still a pretty top tier
Like
wide receiver.
he might have like a game or two where he has like flashbacks or whatever the hell you want to call it, where he plays like his prime time self.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying Keenan Allen isn't like elite anymore. I mean, I feel like he's definitely on the decline, obviously. But I mean, last year he had a hell of a season.
He still had 1,200 yards, I think.
Yeah,
last
had over
year.
1,000 yards. I think over 100 target or receptions. I think
Yeah,
I don't even remember how many
108
touchdowns he had.
receptions, 1,243 yards,
Was it
and seven touchdowns.
Seven touchdowns. He still played really well, but you also got to remember he had Justin Herbert, who is, in my opinion, a lot better than either Justin Fields or Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah, 100%. Speaking of, what are you thinking, and what are your thoughts on that Chargers offense?
Chargers. I think Harbaugh is definitely spring cleaning, I should say. I mean, they lost Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. So right now, if I'm correct, they got Joshua Palmer, Justin Herbert, and Quentin Johnson. If that's his name.
Yep.
So he's bringing in his mix, right? He's probably gonna bring in all Michigan players.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. He's
Yeah.
gonna bring in Blake Corum, JJ McCarthy.
You think he's gonna grab JJ McCarthy?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But he's cleaning the house. He's doing things his way. And I'm excited to see, actually. Obviously, he was an elite head coach in college. Obviously,
Right.
he had his run in the NFL before then. But he's cleaning the house and kind of just rearranging that offense. And it's exciting to see. Exciting time for football.
I feel bad for Justin Herbert right now. You take away two of his two biggest toys.
If I'm Justin Herbert, I'm asking for a trade.
100%.
No, I'm serious. Because even think about it.
100%.
Before even like right now this year, his supporting cast was great, right? I mean, it wasn't elite. It was good. It was great, and they didn't really make it very far. Was it quarterback play? Was it coaching? What was it? What was it that was faulty? So
I think it's
if I'm
coaching.
Justin Herbert, I'm asking for a trade. I'm trying to get the hell out of there. Or if I'm a different team needing a quarterback, I'm calling about Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Especially now since they have a new head coach.
And they're not going to get rid of him because they literally just gutted out the wide receiver core and everything. I think going into the draft, I think they're going to be targeting wide receivers. I mean, they have to be because you don't want to go into the season with Quentin Johnson as your number one.
Hey, to be fair though, that dude was a beast in college.
He was a
beast.
He was not good last year though, and that's really tough considering the fact that you look at all these other rookie wide receivers that went off.
Well, you also got to think about it too. I think he was like wide receiver 4, maybe 5 in the depth chart.
True.
So we're gonna see a lot of Quentin Johnson this year.
I hope not.
No, I'm serious. Like it's his time to shine. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, obviously Austin Eckler's out, Commanders. Which if I'm Austin Eckler, as an NFL football player, you either want to win a ring or make money, or obviously both, right? But whenever he signed with the Commanders, I think it was like I can't remember the tenure or how much it was, but
it wasn't a lot.
It wasn't a lot that he signed for, and he went to the freaking Commanders.
Well, I wonder what the connection there is.
Like they're not gonna he's not gonna win a ring, and granted, he's still making millions.
Does
right?
he owe someone money over
I don't
there?
know. Maybe he's doing it for fantasy football's sake, because he's big into fantasy football too.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was scratching my head when I saw that signing. I don't think he's going to do very good in the Commanders' offense. They don't even have a quarterback. They traded Sam Howell to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the hell their backup quarterback is. So they're probably going to be selecting a quarterback in the first round.
I was about to say that's the crazy thing though is that look at all those quarterbacks that are available. Like there's just a plethora of quarterbacks available. It's a very good draft to need a quarterback or a wide receiver.
Well, you say that, but I remember the draft class that produced Trevor Lawrence.
Oh dear God, let's not.
Jones. That draft
Mac
class,
Jones.
I literally thought that was going to be one of the better quarterback classes, and it turns out to be one of the worst quarterback classes.
Yeah,
I think the most successful one has been like Trevor Lawrence, which he was obviously the number 1 pick. But other than that, every other quarterback has literally been garbage.
Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, how well do you think that he's going to do this year? So, if say that they draft a young wide receiver, right? Mm-hmm. As it stands right now through free agency and everything, how do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to do without Calvin Ridley and with they got Gabe Davis? Oh,
they did, huh? I forgot about Gabe Davis. Yep. I'm not too sure. I think this is going to be Doug Peterson's second year as head coach there, if I'm correct.
Yes.
There's going to be a ton of pressure on Trevor Lawrence because I believe he's going into year 4. Mm-hmm. So, in my opinion, this is probably going to be like a make or break year from Trevor Lawrence. You either win that division or, as a freaking Jacksonville fan, I'm probably looking for another quarterback.
Oh,
seriously.
100%.
I'm serious. Yeah. And it's not going to be Mac Jones. I hate to break it to you. It's not going to be Mac Jones. We've been there. We've done that.
He's going to come in and light it up.
But I seriously think this is a make or break year for Trevor Lawrence, especially, like I said, with the new head coach, Doug Peterson. And that offense, obviously, it's not, the greatest offense, but, I mean, it has some potential for sure. They're a young team.
It does. And usually his offenses are usually really, really good. I mean, just look at it like, what was it, 2 years ago whenever the Jags were actually playing really well. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence was playing really well. But they also had, who was it? They had Christian Kirk.
2 years ago, they had Urban Meyer as head coach, though.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think this is year 2 with Doug Peterson.
I wonder. Because, well, no, they did play pretty well last year. I was trying to remember because I know that I saw a stat the other day that was talking about how Trevor Lawrence is. Well, basically, he's just been playing the best ball that he has under Doug Peterson.
Uh-huh.
So, I really hope that they don't do well just because they're in the same division. I still really like Christian Kirk. Part of the reason why is just almost every year I draft him in fantasy. Somehow, some way I get him in fantasy. Mm-hmm. But I think that now it's going to be like there's going to be a lot of pressure on that receiving core too. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to do very well, to be honest, because I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence fan,
right?
To be completely honest. But what do you think about the Calvin Ridley signing with the Titans?
It's weird because we already spoke about this on the first.
I know.
So this whole episode, I'm like, did we already talk about this on this segment, or was that the one that just got freaking deleted? So I'm kind of just like scatterbrained. I'm like trying not to repeat some of the things I said earlier because I don't know. I'm kind of just like, what the heck happened? But anyway, thoughts on that signing? I feel like they gave him too much money, right? but that's just my opinion. I do feel like the Titans definitely do got a very good offense. Or not, I wouldn't say very good.
I know, no, keep that
I
up.
feel like they do got a good offense with D Hop. Obviously, you know, he's not the same D Hop that was in the Texans or, you know, in the with the Cardinals, but he's still DeAndre Hopkins. He's gonna do his thing. He's got freaking hands of glue. They got Calvin Ridley now, Tony Pollard. And now a lot of pressure weighs on Mr. Will Levis. Obviously, this is year 2 for him. So he's still a young quarterback, still has a lot to learn. But with the offense like that, you have to be able to produce something, right? Maybe even it's going to be tough to win that division, to your credit, with the Texans in there looking red hot with C.J. Stroud. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I do like the Calvin Ridley signing. They're probably – do you think they're going to draft a receiver?
I think they still will because DeAndre Hopkins, he's already 32.
And they got the 7th round pick?
7th pick.
7th round? Or
7th pick and the 38th pick. So in first and second rounds, they have the 7th pick, and then they have, I am very, 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 very nervous because, man, part of me, I mean, obviously, anytime you're watching the draft, you always want to see the sexy pick, right? The wide receiver, the running back, the quarterback, all that good stuff. It's getting set up yet again for the Titans to possibly take another lineman because our line was just dog shit last year. Like, there's no other way to put it. It was
if you don't have good O-line, then you're not going to do much. I mean,
yeah. Well, that plus you're not going to be able to evaluate your young quarterback because if he is constantly getting beaten down and stuff, then
and that just kills your morale too.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't even freaking hold the ball for 3, 4, whatever seconds, 2 seconds. You're just like, dude, what the heck?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's not a good way to evaluate people. But I do like the Calvin Ridley signing. I also like the Tony Pollard signing. I do think that they're going to draft a wide receiver. I'm really hoping that one of the top 3 guys falls to him. But at this point, I think I've seen a lot of people saying that the draft order is possibly going to be, quarterbacks for the first 3 to 4 picks. Or no, quarterbacks for the first 3 picks, wide receivers for the next 3 picks. So you do that, you take away all the good wide receivers. So guess what? It sounds like we're going to get a lineman.
Hey, that's still not bad, man.
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback to be
there's a lot of talent, but I do think that I do remember whenever you tagged me in that one post asking like, what in the world? Whenever it came to AJ Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, AJ Brown. He was not signed by our former GM. So that has nothing to do with the present. I've seen so many posts about that. And of course, I want to go into troll mode and start typing away and be like, listen here, guys, you don't know nothing about the Titans. But anyway, so moving on.
Hold on. Before I forget, man, this is kind of like, this is more recent than anything that we've been talking about so far. So, Mr. Stephon Diggs. I feel like it's not an off season unless Stephon Diggs has something to complain about, right? So I think this was yesterday or the day before. I can't recall exactly, but I think he went on to what was formerly known as Twitter, now X. He went in, and I don't remember the extent of his tweets or whatever, but apparently he was like, I'm down for whatever. Or he tweeted something similar to that or something. And then he changed, like, I guess, like his backdrop photo on his profile to like him like waving goodbye or throwing up the deuces or something. So a lot of people are speculating that he's probably going to get traded. And remember last year, he was really, he wasn't content with whatever. He was upset about something, and him and Josh Allen, they squashed the beef that they might have had or whatever. And, you know, they played last year, but like I said, a lot of people think that he's going to get traded. If he does get traded, who do you think he's going to?
Oh, man.
Or where do you think his best fit is? And do you think he's still the elite receiver that he was? Because last year he kind of fell off like at the second half of the year, because I did have him in fantasy, and he kind of disappointed.
I know. Whenever he played against me, he did not do very well. So, first off, how old is he? I think he's in his
late 20s, like maybe like 28.
He is 30.
30, okay.
He's 30. So he's up in that like Calvin Ridley range and stuff. He still has a lot of juice. Man, he's an interesting one. I could possibly see never mind, not the Chargers. I was thinking the Chargers initially just because they need what?
No, that's good. I like that.
Well,
I would like to see Stephon Diggs on the Chargers.
The only thing I don't like about that is just that he's had, like you said, he's had beef for the last like 2 years and stuff. And so that doesn't usually jive well whenever you have like a hard-nosed coach like I can't remember which Harbaugh. Is it Jim Harbaugh?
Man, I don't even
Because
remember.
I think John Harbaugh is the Ravens.
Right.
Sorry, guys. They're twins. I get them mixed up.
Same. They look alike too.
Yeah.
They look like their dad too.
So whichever Harbaugh is over there.
Hold on. Before we proceed, before this leaves my mind, I would love to see him on the Jets.
Jets.
Think about it.
With Aaron Rodgers?
Because here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, he's going to come back this coming up year, right? Yeah. They actually just acquired an offensive tackle from the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Yeah, Tyron Smith.
So they're bringing Aaron Rodgers some protection. And obviously, they know Aaron Rodgers is probably not going to play as elite as he once was. So you got to go all in right now. So if they bring in Stephon Diggs, imagine Stephon Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall in the backfield, the one and only Dalvin Cook in the backfield, JK. But imagine that. I feel like that would be a good
Dalvin
combo.
Cook, he got released.
Did he really?
He did.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty nasty.
That would be interesting, and that's coming from a Pats fan too. I don't know if you guys knew, but I'm a Pats fan.
You're a Pats fan? Oh, did you see? Speaking of the Jets, did you see that they're trying to get rid of Alan Lazard?
I even forgot that he was even there.
Yeah, they let him request a trade.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I was gonna trade for that guy. I mean,
especially since he has
give up like a sixth round draft pick or something.
Well, that plus his contract, he's owed $10 million.
I think he only went, or they only got him for Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Rodgers probably doesn't even want him anymore.
Well, I mean, he only played like 3 snaps last year.
I don't even remember. Or Rodgers?
Yeah,
something like that.
That's so
I
bad.
think his biggest highlight was him carrying out the flag out the tunnel.
That's hilarious.
Ripperooskies
indeed. How many of you guys missed that? Speaking of, actually, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners, obviously, and all of our viewers. I think that's awesome. You guys still stick with us. Even we were checking the stats the other day. If I can find it, I'll go ahead and add the stats somewhere over here. But Germany, you guys, or you guy, whoever's
girls.
Yeah, whoever's over there in Germany showing us love, we really, really appreciate it.
No, and it's pretty cool because my brother, he actually lives out in Germany too.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting a lot of views from Frankfurt in particular. I think my brother lives in like West Baden or something like that. I'm not German, so I don't know how to pronounce the city. So excuse me if I'm butchering it, which I probably am.
Probably.
But shout out to my brother and his family. I know they support the podcast a lot. My nephew Josh, he watches a lot. My brother Marcos. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in Germany watching, man. I think our last episode had like over 30 views or downloads in Germany, while we only had 1 in Oklahoma City, which is our hometown, which is kind of deflating.
It is.
People in our city won't even support us, but people in Germany are freaking watching and listening. So we love you guys.
We definitely do. And we're going to do our best. We're going to do our absolute best to continue to keep the train rolling and rolling, because obviously you guys, well, some of you guys want to see content. The last I checked, the 64 of you subscribers, you guys want to see the content. So guess what? We're doing it. And it starts today. So, man, where was I going to go after that? That's my bad. I just thought about it and I was like, man, I want to talk about that. We already talked about Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of confusing because, like I said, we already talked about everything. The first go around, and then our thing wasn't recording, so I can't remember if we talked about it our first go or.
Did we already talk about the? No, we already talked.
I don't think we've talked about the Steelers and Russell.
Oh
Wilson.
Yeah.
So Russell Wilson to the Steelers. They got rid of Deontay Johnson, so they got Mr. Pickens over there. Russell Wilson's going to have a fresh slate, right? He's going to be refreshed, getting out of that toxic environment that it was for him over in the Broncos country.
What was it? Let's ride.
Steel City, let's go. But Russell Wilson to the Steelers, I kind of low-key like it. This is definitely going to make or break his career.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fresh start for him, right? And what Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing record before.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
No, I mean, like, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I think he still has it. I don't think it was just the right situation for him in Denver.
I agree.
The fans turned against him. The media was making a freaking fool out of him. Everything was kind of just not it for him over in the Broncos country.
But
I'm excited to watch him play. Their offense is a little questionable. But nonetheless, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. One thing that I am really, really, really looking forward to is seeing, because I at times did not feel as if the Broncos were doing Russell Wilson any favors.
Well, at the
I
same
felt
time,
like
too, they did have some pretty good weapons over there. I mean, you had Jerry
they
Jeudy, Cortland Sutton.
they
The
did,
backfield was a
but
little questionable, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. I think it was just the coaching, man.
Yes.
Nathaniel Hackett was garbage. Then they brought in.
he couldn't
freaking-
hack it.
He couldn't hack it. He couldn't hack it.
Nope. Sorry. Is that new?
I can't even. I don't have my headphones on. But anyway, Nathaniel Hackett was garbage, and then they brought in what the hell's his name from the Saints, the coach,
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. I don't know. He was
was
talking a
very
lot of shit about
expensive.
Hackett, and then
And he
freaking,
couldn't
I
hack
think he
it.
got beat by Hackett actually from the Jets. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell John Elway is doing over there. They got to figure something out.
Yeah, and obviously we talked about before, but I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Wait, so who the hell's even their quarterback?
Over in
Denver.
they are one of the ones that are rumored to be going after possibly McCarthy, which
In the later round?
no, in the first round.
No. Late first round. Because what pick did
No.
did the Broncos have?
I
You
know
don't know off
that
the top
they
of your
have a late first round pick.
I got you.
But keep them busy. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Keep him busy. I don't have any like thing to juggle. But no, I'm trying to think of what other thing I can talk. Have we talked about the freaking the Falcons on this segment?
No.
No.
If we
So,
did, then it's okay.
If we did, I don't know. I'm really liking Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Obviously they brought in a couple of receivers. Bijan Robinson. They got a new head coach. I feel like the Falcons, especially in that division, is going to be very strong. They're going to be competing with the Bucks. If Kirk plays the way that he played in Minnesota, if not better, I think they're definitely going to do some good things.
And he was very
possibly win that
underrated over
division.
there
Yeah,
in Minnesota.
for sure.
But I do like all the what is it? The weapons that he had and that he has now.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's not Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, but
Or who's the running back again? It was Alexander Madison. Yeah.
yeah, remember you thought that he was a great pickup
Yeah,
and fancy.
I did. It was a terrible pickup.
Yeah, no. So I think that like with Bijan Robinson, I think that now too, because didn't their head coach get fired?
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
a new head coach, and then they traded
So-
away Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, they got rid of Ritter.
Rip Rooskies.
Ripperooskies indeed. But yeah, so I think that honestly they are one of those teams where there's always a team every year that did absolute dog shit the year before, and the next year they do like 2 or 3 moves, and then all of a sudden they're just contenders.
But I mean, you think that in the offseason that they're contenders, the season comes around and then they're like complete garbage still.
Yep.
So it's like
Like Cowboys.
they look good on paper, but at the end of the day they just don't have the chemistry. But
Yeah.
speaking of the Cowboys, I don't even think the Cowboys made any like significant changes. If anything, they lost more people than bringing people in. They
Correct.
dropped Van Der Esch. They released. I'm sorry, released not dropped. They released. I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They also released Michael Gallup. They lost Tyron Smith.
I didn't know the Gallup was gone.
Yeah, they fucking released them. Excuse my language, kids.
Beep.
I mean, what else?
Well, they lost
Tony Pollard.
They lost Tony Pollard, and of course,
If anything, they got worse.
I could agree with that
In a
because
division like that, you can't sit around and sit on.
because we don't know what's going to be.
Eagles.
We don't know what's going to happen with the little guy Deuce Vaughn.
Oof.
Yeah, because currently right now he is RB1.
I think they're gonna pick up a running back for sure.
They have to.
They're gonna pick up Mr. Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. You heard it here first, ladies and
Lord.
gentlemen.
Oh Lord, you and your Texas affiliation.
He's just
kidding.
mad because he has no team to root for.
I mean, I could root for Tennessee, the Volunteers. Hell nah. But yeah,
Why would you voluntarily do that?
you are so funny, man. You just made me lose my train of thought. By the way, they have the 12th overall pick,
Who?
the Broncos.
Ah, okay, cool.
So, and
Oh yeah, that's.
I don't
that's
think
good.
that they're that the draft compensation would be a super amount to be able to move up within the top 4 or 5 to be able to pick up McCarthy, especially if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do. And do I think that they should? probably. They got to look for that franchise quarterback.
I think McCarthy was one of the most winningest quarterbacks in college football. I think he only lost one time, if I'm correct. I don't remember exactly, but it was more of like a team effort to his success in college. People like Joe Burrow, who also was like an incredible college quarterback. Like Joe Burrow, like it was more like it was a lot on him. He was just an incredible quarterback. Like he had incredible accuracy. I think his final year he had like over 50 touchdowns accounted for.
Oh yeah,
just some crazy stats. I think JJ McCarthy really didn't have crazy stats. It was more so of like team winning. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
He was on an offense that was very run centric. And so it's which is what makes me nervous for for the Chargers.
A lot of people are saying, what quarterback what are they comparing him to? I can't remember. It might have been like Caleb Williams, maybe. They were saying if J.J. McCarthy, it could be another quarterback. I forgot who it was, but if they swapped positions, that they would have like the same stats.
I could see that.
I forgot what quarterback it was, though. They were comparing him to another college quarterback.
I have no idea.
I saw
did not see that.
it was like a meme. Not a meme, but like some type of stat. Like, if he played for this team, he would have the same stats, if not better, than this quarterback. I want to say it was Caleb Williams.
So I was just looking on here. It was something that you tagged me in. The top new triplets. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a list. I'm gonna give you the list that they have on here, and I just want you to tell me who you think out of this list, who you think is the top triplet. And I believe that by triplet they mean like two receivers and a running back. So you've got Green Bay with Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Smith. Just kidding. Christian Watson and Jaden Reed.
That doesn't really sound all that great to me.
Atlanta with Bijan, Drake, and Darnell Mooney.
I'm not a big fan of either of those receivers. Granted, they didn't have good quarterback play, but I'm still not a fan of those receivers.
I think Drake has a lot of potential. I'm not the biggest fan of the Mooney signing.
I'm not sold on either one of those guys yet, but like I said, they both have mediocre quarterback play. So we'll see how they do this year with Kirko.
All right. Tony Pollard, DeAndre Hopkins, and Calvin Ridley with the Titans.
So far, out of the groups that you mentioned, I think those are definitely the strongest trio, but I feel like they have the most mediocre quarterback out of the groups that you've said so far. And that's that's as of now. We haven't seen Will Levis truly go into a season as quarterback one, so we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. You're going to like this next one. Philly with Saquon, AJ, and Devontae Smith.
That's literally like
that's got to be the best one. Yeah,
that's Super Bowl contender right there, for no doubt. As long as you're staying healthy, all three of them.
Houston Texans with Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins.
That's probably one of my favorite trios right now. They're all very young.
They're so good.
They're so young. Well, I mean, Joe Mixon a little bit older, but freaking C.J. Stroud, man, he's the future.
Okay, so who do you give the nod to between C.J. Stroud and Jalen Hurts?
Well, we've seen more out of Jalen Hurts just because he's been in the league for longer. So obviously, I'm gonna go with Hurts. I'm not even the biggest Hurts fan, but give me another year or two of C.J. Stroud of consistency, and then we can start putting him in the same conversation that we're putting like Joe Burrow and even like Jalen Hurts,
Justin Herbert. Here's one of the triplets that I was actually kind of surprised about, because it just doesn't get talked about a lot right now. Minnesota with Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison.
Well, it depends on who their quarterback play is. They currently don't even have a quarterback. Well, I think they just signed Sam Darnold, literally like before we started recording the podcast.
Yeah.
So they have Sam Darnold, which we all know they're not going to keep Sam Darnold as their QB1. So they're going to be like, and we haven't spoken about this on this segment, I don't believe. So the Vikings just acquired the Texans' number one overall pick, number one pick, or first round pick, which I think is number 23, and they have their 11th pick as well. So they got 2 first rounders, and I'm thinking, and so was a lot of people on social media, that they're going to trade up to select a quarterback, and a lot of people are pointing towards Drake May. And a lot of people are thinking the Pats are actually going to trade the Vikings. So if they trade the Vikings their pick, they're going to move over to the 3. The Pats get 2 first-round picks, and then, we'll see what happens.
Yep. I mean, that's plenty of ammunition to be able for you guys to be able to get Justin Fields.
Eesh.
What about over in Cleveland? Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, and Jerry Jeudy.
Man, just Cleveland is just. I mean, they did good last year. Don't get me wrong, especially with like the
And they still got
carousel of
Deshaun Watson.
quarterbacks that they had. Man, I don't know.
I'm not a believer in Watson.
Cleveland will always be Cleveland. The Browns will be Browns.
They'll be the Browns until they're not the Browns.
They'll figure a way to pull the Browns. I don't know, bro. Like,
and the last one's going to be
Nick Chubb is the truth.
he is. He's a very, very, very good running back.
Probably the most underrated running back that we've seen this past decade.
I drafted him last year in fantasy, and then
He's
proceeded.
so consistent.
He is, unless he's injured.
Yeah.
So, and then last but not least, the Ravens with Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and they have Mark Andrews on here.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I know we spoke about it earlier. That's definitely gonna be a nasty trio. I'm excited to watch the pitch out and play between Jackson and Henry because I mean, who the hell do you guard, and you don't want to guard either one of them just because freaking Jackson's gonna lose you, and then Henry's gonna freaking truck you. So good luck with that.
It's really, really funny. It was really funny since I'm on a Titans message board and everything. It was because of course Derrick Henry, he had the King Cat whenever he was still a Titan and everything. So people were like, "What's the over under on Derrick Henry throwing more touchdown passes than Lamar Jackson?"
Wait, wait, how many touchdown passes did he have last year? Was it like 1 or 2 or something?
No, it was like 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a joke, but that's funny.
Yeah, no, I love it. I will say this: as much as I am frustrated by it, I understand it. I get it. I mean, we already knew that his time was coming to a close with Tennessee. So, wish him the best of luck. Just wish it wasn't with the Ravens because I feel like that's where all the former Titans go.
That's how, dude. Everybody on the Pats either goes to the Titans or goes to the Raiders.
Yeah, but that's whenever they're past their prime. It sucks.
Still, though, it's just heartbreaking to watch.
I'm very interested to see how he does, especially with an improved line and everything. But he's still, I mean, at the end of the day, he's hitting that 30 mark, so he's getting old in running back years. So, but with that being said, was there anything else that you had on your mind? Because I know that it's been so busy. It's been such a busy off season.
Not really. I think we kind of covered everything that I wanted to cover. If we miss something, we'll speak about it the next episode, which hopefully will be out next week, a week from today or around that time. We're gonna try to be more consistent. We do miss you guys. And,
we say that all the time.
Yeah, we do say that all the time, but
But I think that this time it's turning to leaf because just to kind of touch on part of the reason why we haven't been doing this, both of us have been insanely busy. So it's very hard whenever life starts getting in the way and everything. But at the end of the day, this is still one of our favorite things to do. Like, we absolutely love, I mean, I feel like I can speak for him because throughout the last week and a half, 2 weeks, as soon as we decided to go ahead and record, both of us were just so excited about being able to do this. And obviously getting back into the room and everything and the possibility of some changes coming up, then it gets you excited. It gets you excited. And that plus whenever you're showing me the stats, I was just like, man, yeah, we got to get back on this. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully that'll continue to translate into more recordings and everything. If you notice that something's a little bit different, it's just because I'm the one editing this time.
Ripperskis.
Yeah, Ripperskis indeed. But yeah, so let us know what you guys think. Obviously, we cared a lot about your opinions and everything. So
not too much. At least I don't give 2 shits about y'all's opinion.
Well, at least he's honest. I only do just because of the content creator in me. I like to know that we're doing a pretty good job. But you know what? The 64 of you guys that subscribe to us, yeah, share it with somebody. Let somebody know, because we're just 2 guys casually talking about football. So if you want to hear us, then that's fine. Also, make sure the site is still up. So go grab you something cool. We still have hoodies, T-shirts, the whole shebang. If I can remember to, I will add a video scroll of it. So with that being said, Jose, do you have anything else for our lovely, lovely viewers?
I think you already asked me.
Did I ask that?
I think so.
I'm just not used to being the lead off, I guess.
No, that's it. You guys have a excellent rest of your day or night. Or if you're going to work, have an excellent day at work.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to us on the way to work, we appreciate that. But anyway, for Jose, Sauce, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.